I just want to go back to the match in Global, which was a turning point of sorts for me because I was trying to work a more serious style than I had in WCW. I was trying to reinvent myself as a main event guy, as opposed to a mid card kind of pseudo, or honestly, I wasn't even mid card. I was lower mid card, top of the bottom type of guy in WCW during my first run. And I wanted to, man, I was really influenced by the matches I watched up to 12 hours a day. No exaggeration. You should have my wife on sometime. She'll vouch that we had a little 13-inch TV, the kind of the cassette, the VCR / TV,
Yeah.
13 TV. And I would watch up to 12 hours of Japanese wrestling a day. I mean, that's on the extreme end, but at least a couple hours every day. And I liked, the Brody, Hanson, Gordy stuff, Dr. Death, Steve Williams. Of course, I idolized Terry. Terry was my absolute favorite because I don't have scientific proof of this, but Terry was not afraid to wear his heart on his sleeve.
Right.
Like to this day, I know to each their own, but the strong style where guys trade chops or slaps to the face and act like something that does hurt doesn't hurt, which seems counterproductive to what we should be doing as professional wrestlers. Like Japan's a real stoic culture, but Terry managed to break through and become, he was an iconic part of Japanese culture. You maybe use that iconic word too often, but Terry he was part of people's childhoods because All Japan and New Japan were incredibly popular there in the 70s and 80s. And Terry was the top gaijin babyface foreigner. That's not if you refer to yourself as that, it's not a smear. That's what we refer to ourselves as. And I think he was that top guy partially because he wasn't afraid to let his emotions show. He would cry during interviews. He would sell in a way where he would actually look to the crowd and plead for help. Dusty did the same thing. And in that stoic culture where everyone was trying to be more manly, he became the top guy partially because he tapped into, those emotions that weren't usually associated with tough guys in Japan. And I've speculated that's part of the reason why I'm drawn to the women's wrestling, because they are more in keeping with that wearing your heart on your sleeve. They just don't just do the look of disbelief after a false finish. We have women actively crying tears the way that Terry did. And that appeals to me. I like that aspect of wrestling. And to me, nobody did it better than Terry Funk.